do you assess the season so far?
As you say, it's so far. We are, say, on 1/3, not even on the 1/3. So start of the season is in our back. Yeah, it was a tough start, as we've seen all. But I think we are catching up. And the last games, from the last 5 games, we won 4. So we are in a good mood, and I think we are in the right direction. And so before we go into that condensed program in December, I think we're building confidence, we're building a strong belief, and we're building also some routines in. And now we hope we can, more or less, we can stay often with the same lineup, or with 12 till 14 players who are constructing the lineup, because I think that is, so far, that was our difficulty, that every time we had to change, and you don't develop routines when you every time has to change.
I mean, you look at the form table, and it looks great. It's for, I think, Manchester United right now, top of the form table. Is that a fair reflection of how you're playing, or do you think there's still probably a little bit more to come?
Oh, I'm sure there's more to come, but still, it's a good sign. It's a good sign that we are progressing, but also you see that our competitors, they are also dropping points, and there are no easy games in the Premier League, and everyone will drop points at a certain point. So make sure you get consistency in, and don't look too much at others, but know in the background they will also drop points.
The last game was your 50th in charge. It was 30 wins, and that stands you as good as any Manchester United manager in their first 50 games. I mean, that's got to be pretty satisfying.
Yeah, it's a good record, and it tells something that we are in the right direction. But I think over a longer term, it tells that you're winning games. And
is that equally or more important than how well you play?
So the base is always the way you play. When you don't play well, you will not win games. When you don't play in certain levels, and then you will not win. So in a way of play, you have to match certain rules and principles and to get that typical way of playing. And that's why we won so many games.
And I think all of the wins in the Premier League have been by 1 goal. So you can look at that 2 ways. You could want more, but what does it tell you about the togetherness, if you like, or the desire to win from your side, that you are winning games, even if it is just narrowly?
It tells a lot about that we have a good spirit and a good mood in the team, that we have a strong belief that we will win games if we match the standards of our way of play. And as long as we do that and we stick together, we will win games. But it also tells that we're creating a lot of chances, and there will be coming a moment that we score more easy, and then we will be more clinical in front of the goal, and then you will more win easy.
Is that a frustration for you? Because that's the one thing that's been missing this season. You aren't scoring as many goals as you probably want to do. Are you seeing signs that that's something that could change?
Yeah, because we're creating a lot of chances, and we will come to a point that our players will score more easy, that they have the qualities, they have the abilities to be clinical in front of the goal. So there will come a moment that we go and win matches more easy. But for every game, realize not any match is easy. You have to fight for it. And when you score the first one, and then get the second, then games will open up. And till that point, you have to fight for every yard.
It's great for us, probably in the media, when games are won by defenders and unexpected heroes. But how important is it that your strikers start getting goals? I mean, Rasmus Højlund, so much spotlight on him, scoring goals in the Champions League, not yet in the Premier League. Are we wrong to be judging him too soon? He's a very young player.
Yeah, but when you score in the Champions League, I think it's the same level. Maybe Champions League, because it are the champions, even higher. So if you score in the Champions League 5 times, you will score also in the Premier League. It's just a matter of time. as long as we as a team creating the chances, and as long as he is convinced and believe, he will start scoring goals. And the same is for Marcus Rashford. He has proven it across all his career. He scored more than 100 goals already in the Premier League. He scored last season 30 goals. So there will come a moment in this season that it clicks, and then we are on fire. But also the other offensive players, our sides, they are also able to score. Garnacho, Anthony, Pellistri, Fernandes is not really offensive, but offensive midfielder, Scott McTominay. So we have many players. We have even 13 players across our squad who score goals. But also that tells something about the way we see football. We attack with 11. Also, we defend with 11.
Just on Marcus, do you think at the minute, is there maybe a case to say, is he just trying too hard? Is he overthinking the things that would normally come naturally to him?
I think every striker will do. In the moment he has a period that he is not scoring, and then every striker starts to think. And when it happens, yeah, you are right. And then you miss the moment because you have only a split moment. And in the Premier League, Champions League, opponents defending so well, not only as individual but as a team. And so you have to take benefit from that split moment to make it count, and that you have that half a yard, split second to score a goal.
Can I ask you about the injuries? I was counting up. I make it 14 injuries since the start of the season. How frustrating is that for you? Is there a reason why you've had so many? And it's not just Manchester United. I think Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea have all had huge number of injuries. Is there something about this season in particular that's causing maybe a larger number for the big clubs than in previous years?
We did some research about it, and so what you're seeing that the standards in the Premier League from this season to last season again are increased. And
quality of the football?
I would not say the quality, but the winning stats.
Like the intensity? The
intensity, the volume, it increased. So it's every time, it's like, it's the survival of the fittest. And so that's a big factor in English football. And I don't want to ignore the others who has an impact on the game, like tactics, definitely not. Mentally, always huge. In the end, it will win you games. But the foundation is always running. When you can't run individual or as a team, you can't win games in the Premier League.
Is that unique? Are we different in England to the other big countries in that sense? Is the intensity higher here than it was in Holland, for example, and across the other big European countries?
Yeah, it's true. Because here is the concentration of the best players in the world. And that's what you see the last couple of years, that the English clubs take the best players. And so that means you get challenged in every game. And against every team has very good quality. And they don't have weaknesses, any player. So that means you have to match those high standards. And if you can't, you drop off.
Are you close to getting anyone back? Could Luke Shaw be available at Everton?
Yeah, he's now training for 2 weeks with the team, and we are quite hopeful that he will return in the squad for Sunday's game.
Any others?
From the long injuries, I don't think so. We have to have a little patient, but as usually, it's not about the injured players, and of course, and we know if they are back, the quality will rise. But also we have others in the squad, all quality players, and are capable of winning games, and that's why you have a squad. And for them is now the opportunity to play them for consistent in the start 11.
Is it a bad time to go to Everton? Do you think there might be a bit of a backlash after they've just got this points deduction from the Premier League?
That's definitely the case, but we can't do nothing for it, and you have to take like it is. But of course they get more fuel, but that can also work against them. But it's not about that, it's about us, and we have to focus on the game, and we have to focus on our way of play, and we have to make sure we are ready when we start in that game with the right attitude, and that's always about the winning attitude.
If we talk about strikers and not scoring enough, well, the position in the table says something must be going very well at the other end of the field. How do you assess the way your defenders are playing? Has someone like Harry Maguire completely changed the way you see him and perhaps his future at the club, the way he's played in the last month or so?
Yeah, he has taken his chance, but that will always come. We just talking about players who were injured, so he took his chance in the moment Rafa Varane was absent, and when I think that is normal. It's internal competition at top clubs, right? When you have a squad, and when your moment is there, you have to take it, and then the other has to fight back.
You mentioned Rafa Varane. There seems to be a perception, I don't know if this is fair, that Harry Maguire and Rafael Varane can't play together. They're both competing for one position. Is that how you see it?
No, they can play together in certain games, but I thought from the start when I came in here, I want a player on the left side of my defending who is comfortable on his left side or left foot, and because it gives you more and better angles, and that is the reason I explained from the start. That's why we bring in Licha Martinez to have that left-footed, but we have in our squad players who can fulfill that as well, like of course Victor Lindelof, Johnny Evans and Luke Shaw. They all are capable to play in that position, and that fits to our way of play, and that fits to my philosophy of how I see the game.
Just to wrap up, Erik, the next 3 games are all away from home. It's a really tough run. How big is Everton? And then I suppose how big is Galatasaray in the grand scheme of the season? How important is it to make sure you are still competing going into that final game against beIN?
All games are very important, but and it's tough. But our away record in this season so far is very good, so we can take confidence and a strong belief into those games. But go from game to game, and first game is most important. Everton, we're looking forward.
Just briefly on Galatasaray. That's such a tough game, but it's interesting that you say that, because that's one of the things I noted. Your away record is good, but also the way you perform away, and even Copenhagen before Marcus was sent off, it does seem almost like sometimes the away game will suit you at the minute.
Well, we feel quite comfortable, and but there is also, you see then that this team has personality and character, also in hostile environments, like in Copenhagen, we deal easily with it.